Welcome back to the Speaking Flow, the space where we talk about language not just as a skill, but as a path to healing.
And today, we're stepping into a very familiar and often uncomfortable space of the fear of being judged when we speak.
Oh, that feeling. It's like a cold wave washing over you, isn't it? I can still feel it in my bones.
I think everyone listening can probably relate to that exact sensation. Tell me about a time it really hit you.
Part of acknowledging the fear.
I remember it so clearly. It was my first big international team meeting. I had prepared for days, I knew my topic inside and out. But the moment my manager said, "Okay, your turn to present," my world just stopped.
What did that feel like, physically?
My heart started pounding so hard, I was sure they could hear it through the microphone. My palms were sweating, my throat felt tight and dry. And all I could think was, they all native speakers. They were all going to notice every single mistake. They were going to think I'm not smart enough for this job. It felt like I was on a stage, under a giant, harsh spotlight, and everyone was just waiting for me to fail.
What you were describing is incredibly powerful, and it has a name. It's called the spotlight effect. It's a cognitive bias where we tend to believe that we are being noticed more than we really are. In our minds, that spotlight is huge and blinding. But in reality, for everyone else, it's just a soft, gentle light in a room full of other lights.
The spotlight effect, wow. Just hearing that it's a thing makes me feel less alone. So my brain was playing a trick on me?
Precisely. Your brain was telling you that every stumble, every slightly mispronounced word, was a monumental event. The reality is, most people are far too busy worrying about their own spotlight to focus that intensely on yours.
And that fear, it branches out, doesn't it? It's not just one big fear. It's the fear of making a grammar mistake. The fear that my accent sounds strange or funny. The fear of not finding the right word and having that awful long pause. The fear of my vocabulary sounding too simple, too basic.
Exactly. They are all children of the same parent, the core fear of being judged as not good enough. And to start healing this, we first have to understand where it comes from. We need to look at what's happening deep inside our brains.
Part 2, the root of fear.
When you felt that intense fear in the meeting, your brain wasn't being irrational, it was being primitive. It triggered a response known as an amygdala hijack.
An amygdala what? That sounds serious.
It feels very serious, but it's a natural process. The amygdala is the brain's tiny alarm system. It's constantly scanning for threats. For our ancestors, a threat was a tiger in the bushes. For us, speaking English in a high-pressure situation can feel like that tiger. When the amygdala senses a threat, it floods your system with stress hormones and triggers one of three responses: fight, flight, or freeze.
Freeze? That's the one. That's exactly what it felt like. My mind didn't just go slow, it went completely blank. All the words I had prepared, all the brilliant ideas, they were just gone. It was like a computer screen that just shows an error message. File not found. I was just sitting there, frozen.
And that is the freeze response in action. Your rational, thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, gets temporarily shut down. True, your survival brain takes over. It's saying, danger! Don't move, don't speak. If you stay still, maybe the threat will go away.
But the threat is just other people. My colleagues. Why would my brain see them as a tiger?
Because on a deep, primal level, social judgment feels like a survival threat. For our ancestors, being cast out of the tribe meant certain death. So the fear of social rejection, of being judged and found lacking, is wired into our DNA as a life or death issue.
That makes so much sense. And it's not just Dunat, is it? It's our past experiences too. I'm thinking back to school. To that one time a teacher sharply corrected my pronunciation in front of the whole class. I remember the feeling of shame, my cheeks burning. Everyone was looking at me?
Yes, our brains create powerful emotional memories. That moment of shame in the classroom gets stored away. Years later, in that meeting room, your amygdala remembers. It says, hey, this feels familiar. Last time this happened, it was painful and humiliating. I'm not letting that happen again. Shutting down now.
So we rebattling our own protective instincts? We retrying to speak, while our brain is screaming at us to be silent to stay safe.
That's the conflict exactly. But the good news is, we are not hostages to our primitive brain. We can retrain it. We can teach it a new way to respond.
And that's where the healing begins, right? Shifting how we think about the entire situation.
Part 3, shifting your mindset, the healing process.
Precisely. The first and most powerful shift is moving from a mindset of perfection to a mindset of connection.
Perfection to connection. I like the sound of that.
The perfection mindset asks, is my grammar perfect? Is my accent flawless? Am I using impressive vocabulary? It's all about you and your performance. It's incredibly stressful. The connection mindset asks a totally different set of questions. It asks, is my message being understood? Am I listening to the other person? Are we building a bridge between us? It takes the focus off you and puts it on the shared experience.
I had a moment like that recently. I was talking to a new client from Canada. I was so nervous, and in the middle of a sentence, I completely forgot the word for supply chain. My mind went blank. The freeze was starting. The old me would have panicked and just stopped talking. But this time I took a breath and just smiled. Cry said, oh my goodness, my brain just deleted a word. I'm talking about the process of how things get from the factory to the store.
And what happened?
He laughed. A warm, friendly laugh, and he said, the supply chain. Happens to me all the time, especially before my morning coffee. In that moment, we didn't just talk about business. We connected as two humans whose brains sometimes forget words. The mistake became a bridge, not a wall.
That is the perfect illustration of connection over perfection. You chose to be a real human instead of a perfect robot. And it worked. This leads to our second mindset shift.
Let me guess, it's about the listener?
Exactly. The shift is the listener is your ally, not your judge.
This was a huge realization for me. I started to think about how I am when I'm the listener. When someone is speaking to me in my native language, and they are clearly a learner, what do I do? Do I sit there with a red pen in my mind, marking all their errors? No. Try lean in. I listen harder. I feel a sense of admiration for their effort. I try to help them find the word they were looking for. I am 100 on their team. So why would I assume other people are any different when I'm the one speaking English?
It's a profound question. We project our own harshest critic onto others. The truth is, 99% of the time, the person you re-speaking with wants you to succeed. Communication is a cooperative act, not a competitive one. They are not your enemy. They are your partner in the dance of conversation.
A partner in the dance, I love that. Sometimes I might step on their toes, but we're still dancing together.
Which brings us to the third mindset shift, which is all about those moments when you step on someone's toes. It's about redefining mistakes. We've been conditioned to see mistakes as failure, as a red mark on a test, as something to be ashamed of. I want to offer a new perspective. A mistake is not a failure. A mistake is data.
A mistake is data. Okay, expand on that. That sounds very logical and calming.
True, think like a scientist. When a scientist's experiment doesn't work, They don't cry in the corner and call themselves a terrible scientist. True, they say, interesting. This approach didn't yield the result I wanted. What can I learn from this? What should I try differently next time? When you use the wrong preposition or tense, it's not a moral failing. It's simply a data point that shows you where your current understanding is. It's a signpost showing you what to pay a little more attention to next time.
So instead of feeling shame, I should feel curiosity?
True, precisely. Oh, interesting, I said, on the meeting, but my colleague said in the meeting. That's a new piece of data for me. It removes the emotional weight. It transforms fear into a gentle, ongoing process of discovery.
It's about embracing the beauty of being a work in progress. Giving myself permission to be imperfect, just like I give everyone else permission to be imperfect when they speak my language.
That's the heart of it. Self-compassion is the antidote to judgment. Now, with these mindsets in place, let's talk about some concrete actions you can take.
Part 4, actionable strategies to build confidence.
Yes, let's get practical! Because changing your mindset is a process, and it helps to have things you can do today. The first strategy I found so helpful is something I call the safe space practice.
What does that involve?
It's about finding a place where there is zero judgment. Absolutely none. For me, that started with my phone. I would open the voice memo app and just talk. I'd describe my day, what I was cooking for dinner, a movie I watched. Anything. At first, it was terrifying, even just for myself. But I forced myself to do it for 1 minute a day. And then I found an even better safe space, my dog.
An excellent listener, I imagine.
True, the best. He never corrects my grammar. He just wags his tail. I would tell him all about my worries and my dreams, all in English. You can talk to a plant, a pet, or even just the empty room. The goal is to get your mouth and brain used to forming English words and sentences without the pressure of a human listener. It's like a warm-up for your confidence muscles.
I love that. It's a very gentle on-ramp. It bypasses the amygdala hijack because the threat is completely removed. My strategy is a bit more structured, but builds on the same principle. I call it the 1-minute hero.
The 1-minute hero. Tell me more.
You choose a very simple topic. For example, my favorite food or my desk. You set a timer for 1 minute. For that 1 minute, you have to talk about that topic without stopping. True, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes. It doesn't matter if you repeat yourself. It doesn't matter if you suddenly start talking about something else. The only rule is, don't stop talking until the timer goes off.
Oh, that's challenging. The urge to pause when you're researching for a word is so strong.
It is, but it does something very important. It trains your brain to push through the discomfort. It teaches you that you can find another way to say something. You can use a simpler word. You can describe the concept. True, after a week of being a 1-minute hero every day, a real 1-minute conversation feels much less intimidating. You've already practiced being a hero in private.
You're rebuilding fluency and resilience at the same time.
Exactly. And for the third strategy, we bring another person into the equation, but in a low-pressure way. This is the curiosity-first approach. True, when you enter a conversation, especially with a native speaker, your fear tells you, I have to perform. I have to say something smart. The curiosity-first approach flips this entirely. Your first goal is not to speak, but to ask. Your job is to be the most curious person in the room.
True, this takes all the pressure off. So instead of worrying about what I'm going to say, I should think about what I want to know.
Yes, go into the conversation with a few genuine questions, prepared. Not an interrogation, but gentle, open questions. True, that's an interesting point. Could you tell me more about that? Or I've never been to your city. What do you love most about it?
And when you genuinely curious, you listening deeply. You not stuck in your own head, worrying about your next sentence. You focused on them. The spotlight moves from you to them.
And a beautiful thing happens. While you are listening, your brain is absorbing the language passively. The rhythm, the vocabulary, the sentence structures. True then, when it's your turn to speak again, you more relaxed, and you have more to respond to. You simply continuing a conversation, not starting a performance.
Faster conclude encouragement.
So, what we really talking about today is a journey of gentleness.
I think that's the perfect word for it. It's about moving from a place of fear to a place of kindness towards ourselves. Let's recap those healing mindsets. First, choose connection over perfection. Focus on the bridge between you and the other person.
Second, remember the listener is your ally, not your judge. They are on your team.
And third, redefine your mistakes. They are not failures, they are simply data for your learning journey.
And from that place, you can start taking small, brave actions. Practice in a safe space like talking to your pet or recording yourself.
Become a 1-minute hero and practice speaking continuously to build resilience.
And lead with curiosity, turning the spotlight onto the other person and taking the pressure off yourself.
It's a process. None of this will erase fear overnight. But each time you choose connection, each time you see a mistake as data, you are literally rewiring your brain.
I want to say something to everyone listening who feels that familiar knot of fear in their stomach right now. That fear is just a part of you that is trying very hard to keep you safe. It's not your enemy! True, you can thank it for its protection and then gently tell it, I know you scared, but I want to connect. I'm safe. We safe. Your voice deserves to be heard, not because it's perfect, but because it is yours. Be kind to yourself today. Take one small, tiny step. That is more than enough.
Beautifully said. Remember, every conversation is an opportunity. Not an opportunity to be judged, but an opportunity to be a little braver, a little more connected, and a little more you. Thank you for joining us on the Speaking Flow.
Until next time, speak with kindness, especially to yourself.